love New York.
So we're out here with Alex Corporan, New York skate legend, Supreme, a lot of other brands, event coordinator, all kinds of things. Alex.
Hey, how's it going? Just over here in front of 169, having a good time. Here's Chum Media. Talk to me. Like, what do you guys want to know?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just guessing or wondering about like what's been up with you lately as far as, I mean, obviously everyone's world's upside down with Corona and shit, and everyone's got their story, but like anyone out here knows that we're still out here hustling and doing the damn thing. So, you know, what's been up with you? What's Corona time feeling like with you?
Well, Corona time was pretty weird. Like, at first, felt kind of stunned with everyone because we didn't know like if we were going to be skating, what we're going to do. We're going to hang out with each other like the way we are. And then, you know, we started looking at everything and like thinking about everything. And we're like, well, skateboarding is something that we're always together, but we're not like always on each other. You know, it's a sport that's not, well, however you want to call it, sport or not. It's something that you're an individual doing something. So you could clap from afar. You could like say what's up, thank somebody like in every way. So myself, like Ryan Zimmerman, actually hit me up and like been wanting to skate this spot like over like the past year or so, like right by his house where he moved into. And then he's like, hey, why don't we just skate here? It's like it's close to where we live out in Brooklyn. No one's gonna be around. No one's gonna bother us. So we started skating this place like right on Utica and Fulton.
Is this the spot that I've seen? It's like looks like it's under a bridge with a slappy curb.
No, it's actually that's the Jersey spot.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's a spot with the ledges. I don't know if you've seen some of the footage. Well, we're getting a little video that's coming out of us skating there the whole time. It's pretty cool. So it's like me, Sam Parks, Ryan, and a couple of guest people like Gizmo. And we all just started skating the ledges. Cool, no one bothered us. There's a church across the street, so you can slappy, skate a ledge, do a couple of things, and super fun. So that's where we've been for the past like 4 months.
Well, that's kind of part of that answers the question for me, because like I was gonna say, where can we see any old or new footage? So that's tight that you guys are out here doing it. I was gonna also say like, you know, because you've got skate night always going on. You got Go Skate Day every year, adult Go Skate Day, which is a whole another ball game, and we can definitely talk about
super
that.
Super fun, yeah.
But like, I was gonna say like any of the guys that any older heads that are still out here getting it, like definitely go through the roster, and you kind of have like Gizmo, Ryan, Sam, you know,
Sam,
like you.
We have a good Pork Chop came out of nowhere.
I saw him the other day, ran into him and met him. Like now we're best buds because he was just rolled up on a bike, just like, yeah.
No, Pork Chop is amazing. Like he's one of those guys.
His energy,
his energy is he shocked me because you know he's a Pier 62 skater, so we thought like bowl skater, whatever. He just like, I'm gonna get my street game on, and
I saw him, and
he's been turning. Wait till the video comes out. You're gonna be like,
man.
What?
So, because I saw him at the at 110 Studio. There's this photo studio in Brooklyn, and they had a mini ramp on a truck bed.
Right.
And Pork Chop's out there. He's gonna be in I put together a Slashers video that hasn't come out yet. Pork Chop's in there skating and riding and all this shit, you know, like.
Yeah, I know. Real talk. Pork Chop was gonna be a lead singer of Slashers because they were looking for a lead singer, and that's what the guys were telling me. And then Pork Chop was like, up there as one of the candidates, but no, he didn't make it. But yeah.
You've worked with a bunch of different brands from like Supreme, and then I guess you used to work with Etnies.
Yeah. So.
And I remember the Etnies parties. There was the Airwalk parties. Like always something. Whatever you touch, it's like putting on for the community, and I don't think that people appreciate that enough. Even skate night, I feel like is underpacked. I mean, sometimes it's all, shoulder to shoulder, good times in that small space. But, I mean, I feel like more people need to show love for skate night. There's always, like, an opportunity to meet people and get product and just have a good-ass time. And, there's not a whole lot of sense of community in skating, like, because everyone's on their own shit. But when you try to bring people together and they don't do it, it's like, but, yeah, skate night's tight as shit. So, I mean, go on with any endeavors or plans that you got.
Well, I mean, after Supreme, like, which was amazing, I started working for Soltech, which is Etnies, that's America, 32, America, Altamont. And I started working, that's the corporate side of skateboarding, which no one understood, because Supreme was one thing. It was like a different entity and it was a different time. The 90s it was something that you can't even repeat. Like, it's like how did that happen? How did everyone get away with what we did? Like running a skate shop, just blasting music and telling people to get fuck off and telling like, hey, whatever, we don't want you to shop here right now. It's 7:00. We want you out the door. And then after that, started working corporate for Soltech, and that was like it really did it was another turnaround in my life, because like I saw another side of skateboarding, like especially that instead of doing it as an athlete, instead of somebody that ran a shop, now it's like, oh, I'm over here like working with me, Don Brown, fucking P. Andre, the owner, and like just everyone just like doing stuff, sales meetings, putting together all like goofy versus regular contests, and the original like Go Skateboarding Day started because of Don Brown with the whole America tour, like Wild Ride. So there's so much that came out of it. Gave me so many ideas to do something with the East Coast, and especially that I was the East Coast marketing manager at the time. So I kind of took that vibe, and when I left them, I just incorporated what Go Skateboarding, adult Go Skateboarding was with Mike Cohen, and we kind of just put that going, put that together, and just went off from there. And adult Go Skateboarding Day is something that was something more for like us, you know, for us, but with the younger generation, for us like to do things together and like skate and do what the original thing what skateboarding's about, is having fun, street skating, going spot to spot, and doing what we have to do. And like because of that learning curve of with Supreme and with Soltech, I utilize all my energy and all the people I know, and also for me doing the nightlife back in the day, put that all together and like incorporated everything, where it's like, oh, we have a stop at like our local watering hole, or we get a restaurant to sponsor, or like some kind of sponsor, food sponsor, water sponsor, you know, like anything to help out all of us to enjoy a full day of us skateboarding for Go Skateboarding Day, which we turned into our own, which is Adult Go Skateboarding Day.
Yeah, and it's hectic out there. It's like, you know, all day long, pit stops for beer, whatever, and then at the end of it, if whoever's left standing, you know, concert time, party time, and you know, it's for the
community. Like I want people to have fun. So when we did it with Soltech, it was the same vibe, skate everywhere. And then a lot of the bigger corporate sponsors came in, and they took kind of the energy away from what it was. It went from Go Skateboarding Day to look at our pro skateboarders skate at the end. And it's like, no, we're supposed to be all skateboarding and having a good time together. I don't want to see, like, I want you to be skating with Eric Costin or whoever it may be, like, with us. Like, we don't want to go see you and hang out. Like, you know, it's like, nah, let's do it together and, like, skate around the streets of New York and, like, show people, like, what it means to skate not only the streets of New York, but the streets of the world. Because street skating wasn't about skate parks. It was about, like, hey, holy shit, we're skating a curb, we're skating a bench, we're skating everything that we could utilize. You know, you see a garbage can, turn it over, flip it up, who can ollie it better, who could do a kickflip, whatever. Like, so it was something that for everyone to enjoy all together.
Yeah, and so then, I mean, I guess coming from, I mean, what would you say is like, I mean, the 90s for sure, but like, what would you say is really like, you know, the era of skateboarding that you came from versus like how things are now in the scene, and maybe even who's killing it right now, or anything like brands or skaters out here in New York that are actually still doing it and putting on, you know?
Right now I'm like super stoked. Like it's so crazy because back then it was like a group of people in the 90s, like everyone was making it together. But right now there's so much individuality that's happening. But man, I am stoked on like Carlo Carizano, holy shit. Mm-hmm. That boy makes me proud. And, you know, and actually one of the questions I think you were going to ask me, like, being Dominican, right?
So, somebody was like, talk to him about being Dominican. And I was like, well, yeah, how is that? I've never tried that. You know, tell me about Dominican lifestyle.
No, just growing up, being Dominican, let's see, how do I say it? Well, skateboarding in New York in the 80s, in the beginning, when I started in the mid 80s, it was hard. It was intense, you know. So not only that you're like not white and now you're not black, now you're like a Latino kid that's Dominican, skating and like being with you know the color of Benetton, like the world of everyone all together, all the you know color, everyone's like all mixed up. So it was a beautiful thing, but no one understood what we were doing. But growing up in Washington Heights, being a Dominican kid was hard, but at the same time it was like lovely because Washington Heights was a Dominican community. It still is, but everyone looked out for each other no matter what. They're like, oh, look at crazy Alex, like going out there in the streets doing it, and it was a beauty, a curse, and at the same time I'm glad it happened because like it gave you tough skin. Besides the skateboard giving you tough skin with the concrete, it gave you tough skin with your soul. And it made you understand, like, if you believe in something, you fucking got to do it. Go against the grain. Go against the grain with whatever your parents feel about you, and just do it. Because mom and dad, amazing, like, but they hated me skateboarding. I didn't come from a silver spoon. I came from eating fucking plátano and fucking mango. So so it's just one of those things. Like, it was hard, but I did it. I believed in it. They believed in me at the end. Once they started seeing me in magazines and all this shit, and then.
Of course, right? Once they see you did it, they believe in you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like, so you saying like Carlo and other cats out here like Dwayne and dude,
I love those kids.
So with Go Skate Night, how did that all develop, and like how has it come from what it was to what it is now?
But Skate Night started when I was helping out over there at Epstein's, and Dom that used to work there, Samduska, super great artist, love that guy. He was working there on a Monday night. We're like, what can we do here? He's like, oh, why don't we start a skate night? And then we both decided to start it. And then it was just crazy. It's like started from like Epstein's, and we just started doing like food eating contests and getting all these sponsors. And from there, I'm playing videos on the screen. And from then on, it just became a beast. Dom kind of like dropped out because he quit Epstein's. And I just kept it going. And it went from Epstein's to Max Fish for a second. Then we brought it to Left Field. And then we kept it at Max Fish. And that's it.
At the new Max Fish.
At the new Max Fish, yeah. So now it's been like pretty much 7 years in doing skate night. And now the partners are Big Jim, Jay-Z, Sam Parks, myself, Giz, and Ronnie as a resident DJ.
Yeah, and he kills it, yeah.
And Joseph Gill.
I was going to say Joseph Gill. I had something to say about Gill. I was going to say...
Joseph's in there. We added Leo.
Leo,
another killer from New York. Like, holy crap, that kid rips.
Yeah,
absolutely. And with the biggest smile on earth. So.
Oh, yeah. Great MC.
Yeah.
Great MC to be hosting events.
We needed somebody
interacting with the crowd.
Yeah. He's definitely... We thought we were going to have a really hard time replacing Jim because Jim moved to Chico, California. But then, then Leo, we were like, Leo, you down? And he did it, and he's been amazing ever since. We had like a really great 7-year anniversary. Then COVID hit. But, we're ready to come back. We're going to do a lot more outdoor stuff very soon. Like now that after Go Skateboarding Day, got through that. So now it's like me and Sam Parks are really, and Jay-Z are running through ideas of what's next on the bill.
Yeah, and that's something that I wanted to mention too. Like, you did the Go Skate Day, the Adult Go Skate Day this year outdoors, and had the little concert in the street, and it just, that's how it should be. It was awesome, and I'd like to obviously see more of that. I'm sure that there will be. I'd love to talk, another time about all those endeavors.
Yeah, we'll see a lot more of that because, especially with Adult Go Skateboarding this year is a lot more special because
the one that passed or next year.
Next year is going to be the 10-year anniversary.
Oh, wow. So we're okay.
So we're 10 years of Adult. So Mike Cohen, myself, Sam, and a couple other people like Frank 151 that I'm working with now and partners with. We're going to be really like focusing on like what's next for next year. So that's going to be a super fun project, 10-year anniversary.
Oh, yeah, always.
And, if we did it this year, like the way it went so smooth, I was so happy and proud of everyone that attended, that's supporting it, like everyone that was about it, that I know next year, 10 year, we're going to make it very special for everyone.
You mentioned Frank 151.
Yeah.
That was definitely something that somebody asked to touch on. Like, tell everyone about Frank 151, what it is, and your involvement.
Okay, well, I became partners with Frank 151 as of last year, 2019. My partner Neil brought me in, and he wanted me they did an interview with me for the New York issue, which Ray Matei and also Maximilian was about. Like they put it together, and then they brought me on board, and they liked me, and then like, hey, want to be a partner in this, and I became now official partner with Frank 151. You know, Frank 151 is awesome. It's a culture magazine. It's about music, skate, fucking bar, nightlife, everything. Everything you name it, it's in there, you know, and that's what we do. My first issue that I curated, put together, was the 90s California issue, which came out the month before COVID. So we're about to like launch that again and bring that out and like let people know like we're still here. We're having great meetings with a lot of beautiful people, and like we have a good next like year or so coming up, like with really great content.
Great, man. I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, that you know, we got some shit, you know, but once again, can't say nothing yet. And
yeah,
so,
good, and I love that. I mean, it's better than talking,
yeah.
and then shit gets shut down, or you know, things change all the time.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
but we work through, don't we?
But you know, I will put it that we're not gonna be a skateboarding magazine only. Like a lot of people kept asking, like, "Oh, you guys gonna be strictly skate?" I was like, "No, we're a culture magazine. We just happen to do 90s skate in LA, and then we just did the New York issue before I got on board. So that was like the pattern, and then we're just launching to other stuff. But we got some really cool stuff coming up for everyone.
Awesome, man. I was wondering too, maybe if you wanted to touch on about your involvement with the movie Kids, or maybe how what time in your life, like how that kind of was at a pivotal point towards your career, because you were so young. Like, did you start trying to get into the industry and stuff? So, you know, right off that, was that kind of your first kind of break, or was it already skateboarding?
So overall with Kids, like when Larry Clark was casting for the movie was pretty much casted already for what it was. You know, you just had to go through like the whole hoopla and the hoops of it. But it was a giant thing for New York skateboarding overall, because like the story was about New York skateboarders and why Harmony was in love and being like enamored with us and just like loving what we do, and him actually being a skateboarder also, and going to school here. And once that movie took off, it opened up the doors for everyone. But at the same time, it's like skateboarding had died, like for the East Coast, because like that was the depth of skateboarding. So now there's nothing between like 91 to 93. But then here comes ZooYork opened up.
So that was after Kids?
Right
after?
Right after. So ZooYork started. Kids movie was happening. Supreme happened at the same time.
Like that cluster. What year was that? What powerful year might that have been?
The powerful year, I got to say, ZooYork 93, Supreme 94, and Kids was like right in the midst of it. Right?
That's great, man.
So if you look at all that, and then on top of that, like everyone's skateboard career started boosting again, because we all together now. We're all joint forces.
The synergy was back, maybe for the first time.
Yeah, and so the first time ever, like New York skateboarders were like this bubble of like, you can't fuck with us. We were like this entity that was like nuts, and that you couldn't like the nightlife was even crazier, because on top of that, we're a ball of energy going to all these clubs where all these big wigs will be at, and we'll be the first ones in. Because like that's how New York was so gritty. It was different. Like it was a different energy back then. So all of New York was just explosive. So hip hop was starting to be the giant thing.
I wanted to talk to you about music as well.
Yeah.
So anything you got?
So hip hop was like on there. So Wu-Tang and all these guys, De La Soul was getting blasted through. Also, all the skateboard videos.
I was gonna say mixtape and all that.
Yeah. So like a lot of this shit started coming up. Eli Gesner was definitely like one of the main guys that one of the owners, co-founders of ZooYork, was one of the main people that really put a lot of that energy in hip hop in skateboarding, especially in the East Coast. So you know, there's just all that shit was just like it was like this bubble that was just kept on growing and growing, is dying to burst, and then boom, the explosion happened, and we just fucking took over, and that's why the '90s in New York was like beyond special in skateboarding, because it was just not only skateboarding, it was everything. Because we just launched from like Kids, ZooYork, Supreme, and then that launch spawned us all to all this other shit like modeling and TV and commercials and yada yada, and it's just there's no stopping. And then we're doing it also collectively as a group. So it's like, nah, if you're gonna get this guy, we're gonna get that
Yeah, you
guy.
got the
You're gonna get
squad.
that guy. You're gonna get this guy. You know. So it was a unity. It was out of control.
Yeah, because I was turned on Death Bowl to Downtown.
Yeah.
It's that order, Death
Yeah.
Bowl to Downtown. Look it up. It's
The-
on YouTube in full. But it's like that's a nice dive into the history of New York skateboarding because like Shut being the first East Coast company for real with Rodney Smith
Yeah.
and
Bruno Musa.
yeah, I mean, and you're all in
Yeah.
those photos with those guys in
Yeah.
that movie, and it's a great piece if you haven't seen it. And check that out and talks about it all.
Yeah, it was a special time. I look back every time and just like, wow, we did that. That happened. You know, and to look at now, like, you know, there'll be a new explosion, but it's not going to be in that way, that energy, that wave that came in. That was like the tsunami that was bigger than Earth.
Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna maybe just rifle off some of these like opinions, you know, like
Okay.
a couple, you know, top 5 or this or that, like, you know, like especially right now in you know, COVID times where everything's kind of closed and kind of weird but kind of half open, like what establishments do you see like really holding it down? What do you think's holding it down, especially for skaters or you know, just people like skaters, you know, graffiti style cats like this place, like 169 is obviously tight.
169 is definitely one of the spots. Max Fish forever with that too. Neighbor Skate Shop.
Labor,
Fucking love those guys over there, man. Those guys fucking very awesome. Keeps like the real like the community of skateboarding really tight. The guys at Homage, John Reeves has been running the show over there. He's been doing great. What else? Just anything that really keeps New York alive. Anyone that stayed here, I'm gonna give a very big props to. Also, Michael Chenro for being that owns a meatball shop in Seymour's. He was another guy, just like super supporter of like skate night and all that. You know, Seymour, fucking John Seymour, fucking Sweet Chick, fucking supporter. The Good Life guys, fucking all the people from Burton. You know, just there's so many people that really. It's kept New York City together, all these establishments, and like, just been amazing.
Yeah, and that's true. They're definitely putting on, but it's also you or people like you know, anyone involved with skate night, the type of people that go to these brands and are the connecting the pieces, you know, like the conduits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't forget the guys at Williamsburg Pizza.
Oh yeah, of course.
Those guys have been like so beautiful with us.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Every time you pull up to skate night, you guys pretty much feed people or anyone who, if you don't feed everyone, you at least feed the kids who are starving and trying to eat the contest.
Exactly.
Because I know I've won a French fry contest out there. I got a Toro cruiser board and I was like, hell yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I just see kids coming up. They're like playing their coin games or answering
and
trivia
or dice
food
trivia.
contests.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, I mean, y'all really put on, man.
And that's the thing about skate night. Skate night's about having fun. I know we caught a bad rep for a second, saying it was like it's all about drinking and like not about skateboarding, and the people just didn't understand like my vision and my view and what Dom and I wanted to do in the beginning is what I kept going. It's like let's keep skate night something like a place to go after skateboarding.
About to say, it's skate night, yo. It's not like Barstool Day. It's fucking let's be out.
Let's be out. Let's hang out. Let's hang out together. Let's talk about like shit, man. You fucking
watching videos. That's half the fun. It's like, always gonna catch your eye and get people talking.
Exactly. It's like, hey, man, you fucking ripped it up yesterday, or like
people
today, man. That was amazing.
Complimentary, yeah.
You know, let's cheers. You don't have to have a fucking cocktail. Have fucking water. It's about just chill and like hang out. Like
definitely go in there and drink some soda sometimes. It's all good. You know?
Somewhere where you could breathe. You know, and that's what it was about. Like that's what it's still about. It's like. Just sit there, breathe, chill, and just relax, and fucking get your shit out and like let it out, and let everyone understand where you're coming from. And like, what I love about skate night that we do, it's like we give everyone an opportunity to show their videos, even though it's shown on YouTube. But it's great to see a video like live and like with your friends, being like, "Yo, I'm gonna show my video for 5-minute video." And to just show it.
Yeah, I mean that's the best parties to me is like always video premieres.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody's got. I mean, like photos, you know, because like that's another thing is like all the galleries, all the 98 Orchard is always putting on.
Yeah.
So anyone who's like hosting skate photo shows or any kind of gathering, it's like you got to respect them for trying because it doesn't always end well for them, you know, because kids act up and fuck shit up and ruin things. But like it doesn't stop us. We got to keep moving, you know.
But that's the rawness about skateboarding. It's like. We're still a bunch of fucked up kids.
And you try to tell them not to be fucked up. Tell them they can have a beer without ruining it.
But that's why I was very proud of this Adult Go Skateboarding Day because everyone was like just
looking out for each other,
being there, having a good time, and that's it. Like not one fucking fuck up. It was
I was
like
about to say this was really fucking clean.
it was like really like the coolest one. Like even those cops, like when we hit with the monument, and they were fucking super cool. And it was about like that's how they always been, because there was cops there last year, there's cops there a year before, and same thing. They've always been super cool, so it's never changed. It's about like how you express the energy. I know there were some kids that were like "fuck the police," and I was like, and I'd be like,
they're not fucking with us yet. Like, you know, like give it a second.
It's not about that right now.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's about skateboarding right now. That's come with this year. I didn't want to focus on Black Lives Matter or like a whole like protest. I wanted to be like, hey, let's get back to like what we believe in, who we are. We're skateboarders. We're gonna have fun, and we're gonna get through this. And to show people like you don't need to put signs up. Just show that we are who we are, and that's it. We're skateboarders that love to be with each other, have a good time, and that's it. And I thank everyone that help us put this together, which like Mike Cohen and I are very like always like shocked and stoked, and in every way like feel so great when it comes together like that.
Excellent, man. Well, I mean, I guess we've taken plenty of time by this point, but any last shout outs or anything you want to get across about like future endeavors or projects coming up? Or
I mean, right now it's you know, the world shifted, but it doesn't mean that it changes what we have to do, which is having positive energy, have a good time. Let's be together, let's stay together, let's progress together, and let's make shit happen. And I'm here as somebody that has all the tools to work with everyone, and I'm going to use it as much as I can to the bitter end, so we can all have a great time. And if anyone needs a question or needs advice, I'm here for them, and I'm here to like, you know, open that door, because right now guidance is key. A lot of people are lost, some aren't, but we need to be on top of each other to make sure that you're okay, because you know it's good to say, hey, I'm here, than be like, fuck that. It's like, let's fucking be there for each other, as we've always been in skateboards when it wasn't cool, to now that it's cool, to wherever it takes us from here. Let's fucking make this shit happen. Just keep on doing it.
Yeah, man. I always see you looking out, and it's always good to lend an ear to the kids without a voice and shit. So I've always seen you putting on, and it's been a great time, and I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man. Well,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's a wrap on this first one, man, and we'll keep it going. Later.